After my family went bankrupt, I took a gamble and drugged my arch rival. Just then, I suddenly heard her inner thoughts. My baby is so cute. His hand was still shaking just now when he was slipping me the drug. He's so warm. I wonder if he'll last the next few hours. After all, even if my baby cries and begs me later, I won't stop. I stopped dead in my tracks just inside the doorway. Lying on the bed, Snowy Bai, her face flushed and her breath ragged, tugged at her collar. Her eyes were unfocused as she looked at me. It's so hot. Leo Fang, what did you give me to drink just now? At the same time, I heard a torrent of her secret thoughts. My baby likes the forced scenario. I need to act more resistant. His abs are so hot, I want to press against them. His lips are so soft, I want to kiss them. The lines of his arm are so smooth, I want to wrap my hands around them and pull him close. I was shocked. A pervert! And you've gone too far. Leo Fang and Snowy Bai have been rivals since childhood. If I skipped class, she reported me. If I got into a fight, she tattled. Likewise, if she messed up, I took pictures. My name is Leo Fang, but she nicknamed me Little Dog Fang. I in turn called her Pencil Draw Bai. But today, I suddenly realized my arch rival seemed wrong. She seemed to have a crush on me. I backed up to the door and reached for the knob, trying to make a quick getaway, but Snowy Bai grabbed my arm. She pulled it, spinning me around and pinning me against the door. When this person, who was usually so lazy, got close, even her breath felt dangerous. I heard her softly chuckle. Little Dog Fang, why are you running? Wasn't that water you gave me at the banquet just now? It was. I gave it to her. If my family hadn't suddenly gone bankrupt, I wouldn't have resorted to such a desperate measure as drugging my rival. When I handed her the cup, I instantly regretted it, but she snatched it and drank it down as if she couldn't wait. There was no going back. I had to get her to a hotel, planning to take a few intimate pictures to get money. But I never expected her to like me, and I certainly never expected her to be this much of a freak. My eyes darted around, feeling a bit guilty, but I tried to act calm. How could you be so mean? I was worried you might be thirsty, so I kindly poured you a glass of water, and you're not grateful. Now you're even yelling at me. I'm so scared. I was practically nauseated by my own fake voice. This isn't going to work, just let her go. Sure enough, Snowy Bai snorted coldly and a little voice inside me cheered. I knew it! How could my rival like me? I must have misheard. But the next second, I heard her inner voice again. My baby is so cute even when he's being a brat. I want to kiss him. I want to lock him up and only let me see him. I was speechless. So you call this being a brat, huh? I felt a little dizzy. She arched an eyebrow and curled her lip into a seductive smile, asking in a husky voice, I'm so uncomfortable, Little Dog Fang. Will you help me? As she said this, she guided my hand down. Because she was holding my hand, I felt it slip inside her clothes, revealing her fair sculpted collarbone. I quickly shut my eyes, continuously chanting, Lust is emptiness. Emptiness is lust. But my hand wasn't stopping. It was moving upwards. Her body's actually pretty nice. Maybe sleeping with her wouldn't be so bad after all. Just as I was about to give up and surrender, a sudden urgent knocking came from outside the door. It sounded like more than one person. Snowy Bai froze slightly. A good chance. I snapped back to reality and pushed her away. Snowy, are you in the room? Are you all right? A faint voice, followed by more knocking, came from the hallway. I recognized the voice. It was Will He, my ex-fiance's new fiancé and Snowy Bai's college junior. About a month ago, just after my family went bankrupt, my ex-fiancé, Lily Lou, couldn't wait to break off our engagement and publicly announced her relationship with Will He. She had already forgotten how, without the Fang family's help, she, a daughter born out of wedlock, could never have established herself step by step in the ruthless world of the wealthy elite. She wanted to cancel the wedding, and I didn't try to stop her. I only hoped she would remember the Fang family's past kindness and lend us a hand. But she embraced Will He and mocked me openly. Who needs the Fang family's help? You were the ones who desperately tried to attach yourselves to us. Will is kind and gentle. He is the one I truly love. She then publicly announced her relationship with Will He, leaving me standing there to be ridiculed by everyone. The family fortune scattered. Friends abandoned me. I finally understood the cruelty of the world. If not for this, I wouldn't have had to risk everything to seduce my arch rival. But I didn't know why he was here. To make trouble? After all, I'd heard that Snowy Bai confessed her feelings to him in college, but was rejected. Rumor had it that Snowy Bai still had feelings for Will He. Even if she liked me now, there was no guarantee her feelings for her first love wouldn't resurface. Plus, seeing the state Snowy Bai was in, I seriously doubted I could handle her. It was best to leave. I quietly approached the doorknob and managed to open a small gap, but the person next to me slammed the door shut with a loud thump and locked it tight. Snowy Bai forcefully pinned me against the door, her breathing heavier. Crap. The drug must be kicking in. No, it should have kicked in earlier, but Snowy Bai was incredibly patient and held it back until now. But can I really handle her like this? I couldn't help but swallow. Run! Please help! I tried desperately to escape, but she lifted my chin and kissed me fiercely and passionately, as if trying to melt me into her body. The knocking suddenly returned. Sister Bai, are you in there? It was Will He, likely alerted by Snowy Bai slamming the door. Snowy Bai, you brute! I cursed in my mind, but the next moment my mouth was blocked again. Kiss so sweet, I heard her soft mutterings. Say husband with one kiss. Say husband with one more kiss. Say husband with yet another kiss. I listened to her monologue, utterly speechless. The knocking outside grew louder and I could distinctly hear the anxiety in the voices. Leo Fang, are you in the room? What did you do to Sister Bai? Sister Bai, are you all right? Open the door quickly. Separated by a door, I was locked in a fervent struggle with Snowy Bai, while Will He and the crowd outside were frantically knocking. The banging was getting so loud that I suspected they might break the door down soon. I heard Snowy Bai's inner thoughts. Damn it, don't these people have any sense of occasion? They have to interrupt my time with my baby. I'm so annoyed with this Will He. Every time I look for my baby, he's always nearby, and he's constantly trying to sabotage and undermine my baby. So she doesn't like Will He. I could feel them trying to break the door down. The next second, Snowy Bai flung the door open. Cameras and flashbulbs immediately went off. She pressed the back of my head, pulling me tightly into her chest. Oh no, I've never been in such a compromising situation. Snowy Bai's eyes turned cold and her tone instantly chilled. What do you want? Behind Will, were several people, including a few friends and a group of reporters. They stared at me, dumbfounded. They had all come at Willie's urging, expecting to see Leo Fang drug Snowy Bai so they could mock the recently bankrupt young master. Now it seemed they had come at the wrong time. Were they witnessing this young master's good time? I heard her temper isn't great. I wonder if she'll get angry. They instinctively backed away, leaving Will, he alone in the front. Willie composed himself, bit his lip slightly, and said, "I just saw Mr. Fang pour a bag of white powder into the cup. I was really worried about Sister Bai's safety, so I followed. Now it seems I've bothered Sister Bai." He finished speaking, lowered his eyes, and looked at the floor with a pained expression. Snowy Bai's eyes were clear, and she said coolly, "It's good that you know." Her words instantly choked off whatever Willie was about to say. Willie looked up at her in disbelief. Someone couldn't hold back and rushed forward. "Snowy Bai, don't be so hard on him. Will was just worried about you, that's why he called us. But here you are, accusing him." I instinctively lifted my head, but Snowy Bai tightened her grip, burying me in her chest. I felt like I couldn't breathe and secretly pinched her chest, but didn't notice the slight curl of her lips. In the face of the man's accusation, Snowy Bai simply replied, "None of your business." She grabbed my mischievous hands and slowly lifted her eyelids. "However, I feel the need to remind Will, he that bringing people here in such a high-profile manner to the hotel and almost breaking down my door counts as an invasion of my privacy and reputation. Tell your family, we might be meeting in court. Be careful, will he?" Without giving anyone a chance to respond, she slammed the door shut. She released me and immediately rushed into the bathroom. The sound of running water filled the air. I felt guilty. It was my idea to drug her. Fortunately, she believed that I chose to drug her to seduce her. Little dog Fang truly loves my body. I stood there for a moment. The decision to use the drug was suggested and encouraged by him. The drug itself was from him, and worried that I might mess up. He even helped me create a whole plan. At the time, I thought he was a pretty nice guy. Now it seems it was all her doing. And she even swindled me out of $500,000. Snowy Bai, I was furious and charged forward, tackling her to the floor. "You evil cat, give me back my $500,000! Her body stiffened. What 500,000? He couldn't possibly know, could he? How is that possible? Given his intellect, the one who buys 3 $30 cans of cat food for $100, I really want to scream. Why is he resorting to personal attacks? I stared at her, trying to find any hint of guilt in her eyes, but unfortunately there was none. She was still playing dumb. Forget it. It was wrong for me to drug her to begin with. Maybe we can call it even, and I can use her crush on me to my advantage. I took a deep breath and spoke up again. Fine, Snowy Bai. Taking you to the hotel was my fault, but you also kissed me and groped me without permission. I want compensation for emotional distress. Not too much, just $1 million. I looked at her expectantly. Snowy Bai deliberately drew out her words, looking nonchalant. But my money is only for my boyfriend. Her short, soft hair fell across her forehead, covering her incredibly mesmerizing eyes. If you want the money, why don't you agree to be my boyfriend? I cut her off. Ha ha. I've always considered her a rival, but who would turn down money? Once I'm her boyfriend, I'll take advantage of her crush and get tons of money from her. Ha ha. Snowy Bai smiled and shook her head. Wait, I haven't agreed yet. They say what comes too easily isn't valued. If I agree that quickly, he'll think I'm cheap and get bored with me fast. So what do you want? I questioned, a knot of confusion in my stomach. Snowy Bai sat on the sofa, slowly unbuttoning her shirt, revealing her fair, delicate collarbone. How about you try to seduce me first? Wait a minute. I think she's the one seducing me. I took a deep breath and turned to leave. Fine, forget it. Snowy Bai grabbed my hand. How about this? $10,000 for a hug, $50,000 for a kiss. I raised an eyebrow. What, you want to pay me to be with you? Snowy Bai quickly looked away, muttering, I'm just using your methods to humiliate you. She forced a faint smile onto her lips. After all, you hate me so much. The more miserable you are, the happier I'll be, right? But her thoughts were crystal clear to me. Shut up, me! I command you to stop talking nonsense. Using money to keep him is just an excuse to hold on to him. I leaned in, kissing her collarbone lightly, then again. Snowy Bai instantly blushed. Her eyes, usually so cold, were now wide with surprise and a hint of confusion. And her chest began to rise and fall unevenly. I tilted my head and smiled innocently. Snowy Bai, I want to know if your mouth is the only part of you that refuses to admit you like me. Is it really that hard to say it? Snowy Bai grabbed my arm and reversed our positions, pinning me underneath her. Her voice was husky and full of aggression. How do you know if my mouth is stubborn or not? Want to find out? No! I kicked her with a straight face. She cried out in pain and let go. Little dog Fang, why did you kick so hard? I stretched my wrist and answered indifferently, I accept. But we're raising the price. An embrace is $20,000, but forget the kiss. Transfer the money now. Her phone chimed, reminding me my interview time was approaching. I sent a quick message to HR telling them I wouldn't be coming, but I picked up my backpack anyway, pretending to leave. Snowy Bai stopped me. Where are you going for an interview? She showed me her phone. Even if she was paying me, my family's debt wouldn't be cleared right away, so I had reached out to a few companies before I drugged her. Come work for me. I just happen to need an assistant. Room and board, insurance, 2 days off a week, and an annual salary of $1 million. My eyes lit up, but I feigned indifference. Fine, since you're sincerely asking, I'll reluctantly agree. I heard her inner voice, sounding a little sad. She really only likes my money. But that's okay, I can still use money to keep him. Snowy Bai took me back to her villa and put me in the room right next to hers. Every time I step out of the door, I'll be able to see my baby. I widened my eyes. She truly is a scheming, evil cat. I worked for about a month and became familiar with the routine. Every morning I gave Snowy Bai a fierce hug, then went with her to the office where I organized files, scheduled meetings, and received clients. In the evening, after work, I gave her another big hug, and then we retired to our separate rooms. Snowy Bai taught me patiently when we encountered difficult business matters, and she even made me listen intently during client negotiations. After years of being a privileged young master who spent money freely and had no work experience, I realized that after spending this time with Snowy Bai, I'd be able to live the life I wanted even if she left me. Unless she gets sick of me, I'm never leaving. Little dog fang, so that's why I heard her inner thought. Her pure gaze made my heart inexplicably skip a beat. I think I might be starting to fall for her. Snowy Bai was a workaholic. She didn't take weekends off and sometimes stayed overnight at the office, but she never allowed me to stay with her. She always arranged a driver to take me back to the villa, demanding that I message her upon arrival. Otherwise, she'd bombard me with calls. One afternoon, I was dozing off while standing by, watching her listen to a subordinate's serious report. Meanwhile, I was hearing her inner monologue. So annoying, so annoying. Work is already annoying, and looking at this proposal is even more annoying. My baby is so cute. He's nodding off. Did he not sleep well last night? Stay calm, don't get angry. My baby is watching. What if he gets scared? It's a good thing my baby is here, otherwise I wouldn't be able to stay at this terrible company. I jolted awake. Snowy Bai's normally stern face instantly softened. I see, you did well. I proceeded to bombard her with messages. Darling, I want this, followed by 2 kissing emojis. I had barely sent it when I received a bank notification for $2 million. Thank you, darling. Love you, I replied. The other side sent a long string of ellipses. He's so immature. He clearly loves me very much. She put down her phone and quickly pulled out a set of clothes from her closet, the newest summer cool outfit. I put it on, revealing my defined abs, took a photo and sent it to her. I didn't reply after that. Is she busy? I decided not to worry about it. I just wanted to mess with her and keep buying things. Spending money was great, but spending someone else's money was even better. The next day, when I returned to my desk, I noticed people whispering and covering their mouths, occasionally sneaking glances at me. Seriously? They're that wild in private? Oh my god, bro, tell me more details. Don't rush, I got here first, I'll listen first. When I walked over, they all dispersed. Hi, Assistant Fang. Nothing, please go quickly. General Manager Bai was just looking for you. I glanced at them. I'll get the details from you later. When I got into the elevator, the little witch who stayed behind for the meeting whispered, I heard you and General Manager Bai were openly flirting, and her phone is full of your pictures. No way! Someone saw that photo! I'm going crazy! This is a massive social death scene! I should just find a hole and bury myself. Calm down. It's all Snowy Bai's fault. That's right, it's all her fault. Why didn't she tell me she was in a meeting? And why was she using her phone? By the time I entered Snowy Bai's office, I had composed myself. She looked up at me, a flicker of doubt in her eyes. Why is my baby's face so red like a little apple, so cute? I want to kiss him and make his face even redder. He doesn't look too well either. Was he unhappy with yesterday's shopping? I should just transfer him another $3 million. What excuse should I use? She really is a sweetheart. I almost cried. It seems she doesn't know about the photo. That made me feel a little better. Snowy Bai said casually, there's a banquet tomorrow night. You'll come with me. This card has $5 million. Pick out a nice outfit. Don't embarrass me. Her expression was cold, as if she was only concerned about her reputation. If I couldn't hear her thoughts, I might have actually believed her. My eyes gleamed as I took the card. Yes, General Manager Bai, I promise I won't embarrass you. Snowy Bai glanced at me, a trace of a smile flashing in her eyes before she went cold again. Don't look so excited. Don't think too much of it. I'm only taking you so you can face reality. After all, your ex-fiancé will be there. I heard she's getting engaged. I was still immersed in the joy of the $5 million and replied absent-mindedly, I'm willing. Please use more money to make me face reality. But I heard her inner thoughts sounding a little downcast. Why is his voice so flat? He must still be hung up on her. When will he finally turn around and look at me? Oops, she misunderstood again. Snowy Bai gave me half a day off. I spent the entire afternoon frantically buying clothes, shoes, and watches. I could just expense anything else I needed. I thought about it and wondered if it was too much to just spend her money. I haven't even officially become her boyfriend yet, and I haven't really seduced her, but she's already doing all the work. I felt a little bad, so I picked out a necklace for her and asked Snowy Bai's driver to deliver it. She'll like it, right? I spent a long time picking it out. When I arrived at the banquet location, I saw Snowy Bai wearing the silver-gray necklace, surrounded by people, responding coolly to social pleasantries. From a distance, she looked even colder and more unattainable. My eyes lit up. It really suits her! She looked up, her captivating eyes lighting up with tiny sparks as she saw me. She walked over and pulled me behind her, shielding me from the curious eyes of the crowd. Ah, my baby looks so good in that outfit. He's impossibly handsome. I'm in love. No, wait, my baby looks good in everything. There's no time when he doesn't look good. I regret bringing him here. Why is he so attractive? No one is allowed to look at him. He's mine. What's with that look, Lily Lou? I looked at her, but she wasn't looking at me. So confusing. I gently pinched the soft skin on her waist. Her hand softly grasped my finger. Suddenly, I felt hot. What was going on? Will he was speechless after her deflection, and he led Lily Lou away, feeling angry. I stared at their backs, giving them a silent countdown in my mind. Snowy Bai's inner voice rang out, sounding a little wronged. My baby is still looking at that scumbag. He can't still have feelings for her, can he? My face instantly changed. I looked at Snowy Bai seriously. Snowy Bai, I don't like Lily Lou. Maybe I did before, but I really don't like her now. I know, she replied slightly awkwardly. I don't care. I gritted my teeth. You're going to pretend you don't care, are you? Fine, I won't care about you either. I ran to a corner, silently punching the air in frustration. Anyway, I had plenty of time to calm down. I hadn't eaten anything yet, so I might as well get some food. While Snowy Bai was conducting business, I focused on eating. I didn't notice Lily Lou pass by me. She stumbled and fell to the ground, and by chance, she was holding a glass of red wine, which spilled all over her white dress, leaving a conspicuous stain. Brother Fang! She stood up, biting her lip, her eyes full of tears. Before I could speak, Will He shoved me to the ground. Ouch, my hand is scraped! Will He held the trembling Lily Lou and yelled at me, Leo Fang, I truly despise you! Lily only broke off the engagement because of me. Why are you taking it out on her? You came to this banquet just to see Lily, didn't you? You think just because you've climbed onto the Bai family's high branch you're set for life? I'm telling you, Lily loves me. A scumbag like you doesn't deserve anyone's love. The surrounding people started murmuring. That's the Fang family young master who went bankrupt recently. I heard he's always been arrogant and domineering. It seems the rumors are true. I heard he's being supported by the Bai family's heiress, but he still has to rely on a woman in the end. A wave of warmth suddenly spread across my palm. I looked up. It was Snowy Bai. She lowered her eyes and gently squeezed my scraped finger. She leaned into my ear and whispered, "Little dog Fang, I'll give you a chance to act spoiled. Do you want it?" I nodded, took a deep breath, and slapped Will He across the face. I used all my strength and my hand was stinging. I cleared my throat and spoke to the surrounding crowd. Today I will clear up some misunderstandings about Miss Liu. When the Liu family and my Fang family decided to marry, my Fang family provided a lot of help to Lily Liu. However, when the Fang family went bankrupt, Miss Liu chose to walk away and quickly cut all ties with us. Just now, Miss Liu inexplicably walked past me. I didn't even touch a single hair on her head. Is it possible Miss Liu, who normally avoids crowds, chose to pass by me just to stage this scene? Everyone here was shrewd. With my slight hint, they immediately understood the truth, and the looks they gave Will He and Lily Liu turned to disdain. I was confident because I was telling the truth, and I had Snowy Bai backing me up. I was tired of talking to them, so I took Snowy Bai's hand. Let's go home. Perhaps I was too shocked, but I couldn't hear Snowy Bai's inner voice the entire way back. It wasn't until we arrived at the villa and I finally let go of her hand that I heard her torrent of thoughts. He held my hand! He held my hand! I can't believe happiness came so suddenly. When we get back to the room, I'm going to frame this hand that my husband touched. I backed Snowy Bai up against the door. There's something even more unbelievable you can try. What? How did he know what I was thinking? The next second, I stood on my tiptoes and kissed her. That's a reward for my little white cat. I turned to run, but she hugged me and placed me on a table, gently bumping our foreheads together. The cold expression she usually wore was gone, replaced by a subtle, almost desperate passion in her eyes, making her voice a little breathless. That's not enough. Her eyes were full of longing. I slowly kissed her neck. How about this? Still not enough! She stared at me, completely undisguised in her desire. Can we? I looped my arms around her shoulders and gave her a light kiss, and then a torrent of kisses followed. In the haze of passion, I heard her voice, mixed with a hint of pleasure. I told you, little dog Fang, aren't my lips soft and sweet? I have another spot that's soft too. The next day, I woke up in Snowy Bai's arms. Her sleeping face was wet with sweat, her eyes dark, and a hint of lingering passion remained at the corners of her eyes. Her messy hair tickled my neck, making me itch. I couldn't help but push her head away. Stop that! She didn't give up and continued to nuzzle me. I couldn't help but smile. Snowy Bai, are you a cat? She held my hand, gently kissed my palm, and whispered, "Meow, meow, meow. I'm little dog Fang's kitten." Her eyes were teary but bright, like a kitten's eyes, full of nothing but her doggy. We both knew that cats and dogs were sworn enemies, but maybe sworn enemies are destined to be together. The day after we officially became a couple, Snowy Bai clearly explained all her assets and declared, "It's all yours. My money is yours and I am yours." Wow, so I'm going to become a billionaire? She seemed to suddenly realize something, and her eyes were filled with anxiety and uncertainty. No, little dog Fang, you didn't only agree to be with me for the money, did you? I suddenly felt like messing with her, so I nodded. What? She scratched her head, looking a little defeated, but then she resolved herself. Then I can only work harder to make more money. Little dog Fang, I won't give you a chance to leave me, so you have to think carefully before deciding whether to accept me. I will, I whispered in her ear. It's not because of your money. Besides, you're really beautiful. She blushed down to her neck. I played with her earlobe. It was so red it looked like it was about to bleed. Snowy Bai, you're so innocent. A kitten, once it recognizes its owner, will be completely devoted to them and find every way to get the owner to take them home. My heart suddenly softened completely. I took a deep breath and slowly spoke. Snowy Bai, I need to confess something to you. I can hear your inner thoughts. Her pupils constricted slightly, and a faint look of surprise appeared in her eyes, but she shook her head, not believing me. How is that possible? Little dog Fang, don't joke. I'm not joking. It started when I drugged you and took you to the hotel. I could suddenly hear your thoughts. So what are you thinking right now? I'm thinking I can't figure out little dog Fang's brain. Her expression instantly froze. Oh my god, he really can hear me. That means he knows all my embarrassing thoughts from before. No, think of something else. Shut up, stupid mind. She looked distraught. Do I have no dignity left in front of you? No, because I like my little white cat too. I hugged her and gently stroked her fluffy hair. So soft, just like a cat. Snowy Bai, even if you want to back out now, it's too late. She hugged me back fiercely. I'm never backing out. In the years that followed, I often marveled at how Snowy Bai was a born entrepreneur. Under her guidance, my management skills improved rapidly. I carefully liquidated my family's debts, and with Snowy Bai's help, I started a new company, rehiring my family's old employees. As for my mother, who had shirked responsibility and run abroad, I unilaterally cut all ties with her. My new business flourished. After about 5 or 6 years, I finally paid off all the debt. That same day, Snowy Bai proposed to me, and I accepted. I didn't see Lily Liu much, only hearing about her from others. Snowy Bai sued Lily Liu again. This time, the court ruled that Lily Liu had infringed upon Snowy Bai's privacy and reputation, requiring her to issue a public apology and pay tens of thousands of dollars in compensation. Lily Liu had no choice but to apologize to Snowy Bai in front of the media. Fortunately, she didn't try to bother us again, seemingly putting all her hope into Will He. Lily Liu and Will He's disastrous business partnership ruined the He family's reputation, and Snowy Bai canceled all cooperation with the He family. The He family disowned Will He and instead promoted another illegitimate son, Lily Liu and Will He were kicked out of the He family. I heard Lily Liu was defiant and tried to drug the new successor to seduce him, but he wasn't fooled. He turned around and sued her. Lily Liu's reputation was completely ruined, and even Will He abandoned her. I thought I would never be involved with them again, until one day Lily Liu came to Snowy Bai's company to find me. Her eyes were red and she said tearfully, "Leo Fang, I regret it." "I don't care. I turned to leave. She shouted loudly behind me. If the Fang family hadn't gone bankrupt and I hadn't left, would our ending have been different? Of course not. Snowy Bai wrapped her arm around my shoulder and raised an eyebrow. Then she called security. Send her away. We don't have time to worry about hypotheticals. I only know that Snowy Bai clung to me all that night, unable to sleep, and kept asking me if I liked her. Perhaps knowing my dirty little secret only amplified her desires. I want Little Dog Fang. So annoying, so annoying. I don't want to go on a business trip. I don't want to be separated from Little Dog Fang. I want Little Dog Fang to open his legs wider. I finally couldn't take it anymore and began to speak her language. Baby's abs are so hot, I want to press against them. She instantly apologized. I'm sorry, Little Dog Fang, but I couldn't detect an ounce of sincerity in her voice. Forget it. I'm too generous to argue with her. Many years later, I suddenly realized I couldn't hear her inner voice anymore. But it didn't matter. I no longer needed to. The kitten had willingly shackled herself to her doggy.